Welcome to the Creators MBA podcast, your go-to resource for mastering the art and science of digital product entrepreneurship. My name is Dr. Destiny Kopp, and I help business owners generate consistent revenue from their digital product business without the need to be glued to their desks, constantly live launching, or worrying about the social media algorithms. I hope you enjoy our episode today. Hi there, and welcome back to the Creators MBA podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Destiny Kopp, and today's episode is going to speak directly to the heart of one of the biggest frustrations I see in the space. And it's the feeling of, I've built the funnel, I've done everything they told me to do, so why the heck isn't it making money? So here's the deal. You've set up the lead magnet. Maybe you've added a low-cost tripwire. Maybe you've even got an evergreen webinar running behind the scenes. You check your dashboards. People are signing up. Some are clicking, but no sales. Or they're lower than you expected, and they're not growing. And then comes the doubt spiral. Is my offer wrong? Do I need to rebuild the whole thing? Should I start from scratch? And I just want to tell you that before you torch your funnel in frustration, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your funnel isn't broken. It just needs a few smart fixes and the right kind of traffic to fuel it. So here's what I see too often. You're following someone else's funnel template. Maybe it's from a course or a coach or something you've pieced together from YouTube videos. You have it done. It's set up, but it's not producing the revenue you want or need. And that's because a funnel isn't a machine that automatically makes money. It's a system that needs constant calibration. I want you to think of it like a garden hose. If you turn it on, but barely a trickle comes out, the problem might not be the hose. It might be the kink somewhere in the line. Or maybe it's not connected to a water source at all. Funnels work the exact same way. There might be a tiny fix that unlocks your revenue flow, but most creators never go looking for it. They assume the whole thing is a bust or it's not working, or worse, they even start over. And today I want to show you how to stop guessing and start fixing your funnel. Here are the most common places funnels leak money, and I want you to check your own setup as we walk through these. And the first is the opt-in page. If fewer than 30% of people are opting in, I actually like to get that higher than that, but we're going to go with 30. Your headline or your promise might be too vague or just not compelling. It's not enough to offer a free checklist. It has to solve a problem that they are actively trying to fix. The next one I want to move into is the tripwire page, the sales page for your tripwire. So you have the lead, but the next step, whether that's a $27 product or a $49 product mini course, it's not converting. So if your tripwire converts under 3%, I would actually like to see that a little higher than that. Something is not clicking. And then I want to move on to the cart checkout page. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. Maybe there's too many form fields here. Maybe there's no reminder of the value you're getting them. Maybe there's no urgency. A clean checkout with a smart order bump can often double your revenue, and many people skip this entirely. And then you might move into some upsells and you might see some drop-offs there. And for the people who don't buy, you're going to have a nurture sequence. So if your emails are long-winded, they're too generic, or they have soft sales without a clear call to action, you are losing momentum. These are the people who said yes to your freebie, and I don't want you to let them forget why they found you and why they opted in to the value that you have to offer them. Okay, so each of these spots is an opportunity for a small, powerful fix that can boost your conversions. And I haven't even talked about the evergreen webinar funnel. There's a lot of different places in there too that you can look at and figure out, okay, I could tweak this and it's going to make a huge difference. Now I want to address really the elephant in the room. And you can't fix a funnel that no one is going through. So one of the most common mistakes I see people obsessing over is when their funnel isn't converting. Quite frankly, it's not getting enough traffic to begin with. So enough people are not seeing what the creator has to offer. So let's do some quick math here. If 100 people see your lead magnet, and 30% opt in, that's 30 leads. If 3% of those buy your tripwire, that's less than one sale. So even if your funnel is working, it's not going to feel like it's working unless you're driving steady, qualified traffic to it. So traffic and conversion are a partnership. And if one is missing, that whole system stalls. This is why funnels need fuel. And in our workshop this month, we're tackling this too. This is why funnels need fuel. Okay, so let's talk about optimizing it, not completely ditching it. So you might be tempted now to blow everything up and start fresh, but let me stop you from that. That is not what we're doing. You don't need to rebuild your funnel from scratch. You just need to optimize what you have already created, because most of the time, the bones of what you have there are solid. The fix is something small but strategic. Maybe it's your tripwire headline. Maybe it's adding a cart timer or a no-brainer bonus. Maybe it's rewriting your sales emails with strong social proof. Inside this month's Digital Product Growth Lab workshop, I'm going to help you diagnose exactly where your funnel is leaking and give you fast fixes using tools like Frankie the Funnel Fixer, which is an AI assistant that I have built for funnel copy and optimization. I also have the funnel benchmarks cheat sheet, so you know exactly what good looks like. And I also have the funnel metrics tracker, so you can log your changes and see the impact over time. This is all about micro changes that lead to major results. So let's break down the two funnels that I'm going to focus on in this workshop. The first is a tripwire funnel. So this is when you have like a free lead magnet, and then the next step you have a low-cost product, and it might have some order bumps and one or two upsells in there. And then it's going to have a follow-up, like a short welcome and nurture sequence, especially for those who didn't buy. And your goal here is to build trust, generate buyers, and lead them into your core signature offer. So the biggest leaks that we're going to look at here is like a weak tripwire headline, or no urgency or incentive, or a complicated checkout process. So there's a lot of things that we can kind of tweak in here to really increase those conversions in your tripwire funnel. The next one that we're going to look at in this workshop, if you have this, would be an evergreen webinar funnel. So in here, the entry is you have a webinar opt-in. And then the next step, you have an on-demand replay or video. And then you have a cart close and a cart open period where you're doing those post-webinar emails with urgency and bonuses. And your goal here is to sell a higher ticket product or maybe even a membership. So some of the biggest leaks here might be a low show-up weight for your evergreen webinar. Maybe you're doing too much teaching and not enough selling in that, or your sales page or emails that don't close. Both of these funnels here that we're going to be talking about can be wildly effective, but only if they are dialed in. And that's what we're going to do together in the live workshop. So if you are kind of nodding and saying, Destiny, yes, this is me, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to join us inside the Digital Product Growth Lab for this month's workshop, which is called Fix Your Funnel with Frankie, the funnel fixer. And I'm going to walk you through identifying where your funnel is underperforming. And you're going to make one key fix using Frankie, the funnel, and the prompts. You're going to track your results so you know exactly what's working. You will leave this workshop with a fully diagnosed funnel. You're going to have one specific improvement to implement in the next 7 days, and you're going to have the confidence that you are no longer just guessing. So really what I want to leave you here with today is that your funnel doesn't have to be perfect. You just want it to be profitable. So instead of overhauling everything, I want you to come join us. I want to help you fix what's broken, but also amplify what's already working in your funnel. And let's finally get your funnel making the money it was meant to make. I'm going to put the links to join us here in the show notes so you can join us live this month. I hope I see you inside the Digital Product Growth Lab. Bye for now. Thanks for listening all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this episode today. If you love the show, I'd appreciate a review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. Have a great rest of your day, and bye for now.